Hey, welcome to BeerGuysTV. Hey, we did something different.
And you're about to find out.
If you're looking for serious, in-depth beer information, well, you're listening to the wrong show. But if you want fun and entertaining beer information, you've come to the right place. It's another Beer Guys TV BrewCast.
Well, welcome back. As we mentioned, we did something different recently.
We were on a podcast.
Yeah.
Somebody else's podcast for a change.
Yeah, we were guests on the podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, in Litchfield.
Yeah, Litchfield.
In your hometown.
It's called the Litchfield Experience with Mike and Ian.
Yeah.
And so while they were audio taping this, we video recorded it. And, well, here it is.
Awesome. Well, this week we have some very special guests, and we are excited to introduce them. Some fellow podcasters, Shane Zeppelin and Greg Johnson from the Beer Guys TV.
Woo!
Hey, all right.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
thanks for having us. Yeah.
And typically, we're very
Structured,
and we have preset questions. And I thought, you know what? You guys talk on podcasts. We talk on podcasts. I figured we shouldn't have to do any questions. And sorry for the viewers at home.
or are they listeners, Greg?
Or are
the
they?
listeners.
They could be. It could be either or in this case.
Yes, they could be.
Well, especially in this case, because we have a 360 camera.
Yeah,
Hi,
so
guys.
the Beer Guys are videotaping this, and Mike and Ian are audio
So we got it all covered.
recordings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All we need is a staff photographer, and we'd be set.
No kidding. How do we do that?
Different budget.
Well, exactly. We probably have a very similar budget here. So,
but
I would say.
Hey, thanks for having us over. It's kind of fun to see what you guys. You got a nice setup here, and you guys have a lot of fun. And dealing with, you got champions over here and master lawn care people.
I
over
wouldn't
here.
go that far, Greg.
well, the one thing Mike didn't say though is that the pitcher on the opposite team was still in diapers.
Oh well,
So.
She's just out of them. But yeah.
minor details.
I really shouldn't be bragging that we beat up on the 6-year-olds, but,
Hey, a win's a win.
Take what you can get.
when you peak early in life, you just got to hang on to everything you got, right?
Find what little joy you can.
Yeah, exactly. It's especially now in today's world, but pretty crazy. But yeah, it's kind of a neat deal. I heard a lot of good things about your podcast, and Shane messaged me and said, "Hey, I talked to Mike, and
We're on.
we're in." So
Awesome.
count me in. I'll come
This
on.
is great because it was kind of a big day for us when we had talked to him about coming on the podcast. We were like, man, somebody actually wants to be on our silly podcast. This is crazy.
Yeah, it was
Well,
two in
we're
one
crazy,
day.
so it kind of goes hand in hand.
I love it.
Yeah. I can see that it's a kind of a uniform thing here. We'll fit right on in.
I don't think you just sit around and go, oh, well, today I'm going to think logically and go, I'm going to commit myself to a podcast once a week.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think
right.
that happens.
No,
I don't think anybody's ever done that.
Yeah, a bit of a commitment.
We
huh,
tried,
Shane?
yeah. I mean, it's tough to commit, but early on, actually, I'll just give you a kind of a background how I got
Perfect.
involved. So Greg and another friend of ours, Rich, they started Beer Guys TV, right? And it was a YouTube video channel, and they just were in Rich's garage. Rich has a Corvette, so they had a Corvette in the background, and then they just started recording themselves, doing some videotaping, and I was doing some videography, I guess, for an online magazine I used to have for snowmobiles. I was up in Duluth at a race and out in the middle of the track taking photos and stuff of the racers going overhead. And I could hear this familiar voice on the PA, and it's like, that's not Greg. I'm thinking in my head, it sure sounds like him, but whatever. So at the end of the night, I go in and I'm going to get myself a beer. Well, then I see Greg, and Greg's got himself a beer. And pretty soon we're
Right.
at a table and just BSing, kind of catching up. I had worked for Greg. He had ran the Grove Creek racetrack back in the 90s, and I did some work for him back then. We just kind of got caught up. Greg said, hey, a buddy of mine and I are doing this video called Beer Guys TV. Do you want to kind of help. We could use some help when it comes to creativity and
we're
graphics.
And Rich and I we can drink beer just fine, but the whole video production was pretty lame.
Okay.
Did the best we could with what we got. You know how that goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
That's like me. I just sit around and look stupid while he's putting everything together. You know?
See, you and I.
there we go, I guess. Right?
Strengths and weaknesses. Great team, right?
That's right. So, we got together, I had some ideas. The show started out as a beer snob and a beer slob.
Guess which one I was.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out. Tell me. No, I'm just kidding.
So Greg always was always the one that was teased for drinking the, light beers or the mainstream beers. And then Rich would take more of the crafty beers, but it wasn't like the true craft beers that we have today.
Some, but not many.
Some, it'd be just a little bit more higher end beers, I guess. The Heinekens and the
Peronis and what have you.
Exactly.
And the green bottles.
Yeah.
Green bottle beers.
So
okay.
Green means class, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sure.
Must.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Yeah.
So we recorded a few shows, and actually some of those shows aired on local cable TV. The free cable that you'd get on channel 0 or whatever they are.
Public TV?
Public TV.
Like Bob Ross kind of stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
We were
he was big time.
We were in 3 states, and I forget. We were in Iowa, Wisconsin, South Dakota, and
and here in Hutchinson,
up northern. We were But
so
they're all starving for content, so they'll take anything.
Yeah. In fact, some of them I think are still played today.
Yeah. Strangely enough,
Yeah.
You get royalties on that?
No.
Big bucks?
No.
Rolling into big money.
No.
Yeah.
Well, once in a while we'll get a free beer.
Yeah. Once in a while.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So we kind of went that direction for a little while. It was so time consuming that we decided let's just kind of scale back and let's just kind of see what happens on YouTube. And then Rich, he went a different direction himself, so we had to kind of change the show. And I was always behind the scenes. I was the camera guy and the editing guy, and we had another person, Jerry, doing camera work as well. And
Jesus.
And so Greg would be the host of the show, right? But he needed somebody to kind of bounce things off of. So Jerry and I kind of reluctantly got in front of the camera, and then we just kind of started this idea of going, well, let's do craft beer reviews and make podcasts.
Yeah.
AKA BrewCasts.
BrewCasts.
Ooh,
That's what we
It's
call
got
it.
a better ring to it.
Yeah. So we did that for a while. It was all audio to begin with, and then we thought, well, we're already sitting here taping these or recording these. Let's just put a camera up and tape us recording these, and then that became the BrewCast.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's went through a bunch of changes like everything, and now we're Jerry has left and moved to Arizona, and we've adjusted the format and everything changes, but that's part of the fun, and we don't make any money at it, so we can't get too crazy about it because it's all mostly for fun. But the craft beer industry has been evolving so much over the last 10 years that it's just kind of fun to be a part of it. And now that Litchfield has their own craft brewery.
We had him on the podcast.
Did you? Brennan?
Yep. Brennan was on the podcast.
From Half Bushel. In fact, I happen to have a Half Bushel beer with me.
Well, I was going to say, Ian was talking about yard work earlier, and what goes better than after yard work than a beer?
Well, I'm kind of disappointed that once someone said yard work, the beer didn't come out already.
Oh,
I see an empty cup, so I know it's coming.
Well, we brought some glasses from a couple different breweries in Minnesota here, and we'll fill them up with some local brew.
Perfect.
From Half Bushel.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a West Coast IPA, and I don't know if what your taste buds are accustomed to, but we'll try the local beer.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
So when we do a BrewCast like this, then we'll do a preface about kind of come right into what the beer is, where it's from, just a little bit of maybe a backstory if we have one, and then we do a tasting like this.
Okay.
And then we review the beer kind of based on how we catch the flavors or the aroma or that kind of thing. So we'll kind of do one as live as we're recording this.
So you guys will do your explanation, so I can have a moment to put together
for sure
how I'm going to categorize all these flavors.
Yep.
Normally, if we were going to rate the beer, which we probably won't on this one,
no,
because we're just talking about it. Here, I'll make pass this over to you, Ian. And we usually give it 3. We used to do all kinds of crazy ratings. We give it a number of steins. I give it 5.5 steins and all. Yeah,
out of how many?
A boot is like the ultimate.
Yeah, the boot was, if you got the boot, the German boot, that was blah. You know,
I should have brought my boot. I have a boot. Somebody bought me a boot.
Yeah. Well, and then we went to a number system, 1 to 5, and then we thought, let's keep it simple. Shane come up with the idea. How about buy it, try it, or skip it? Keep it.
I like that. Buy it, try it, skip it.
Yeah, it's simple. It's easy.
Hey, you got to get this one, or hey, it's worth a shot. Or you might want to pass. And we try to do it in the category it fits in. This case, it's a West Coast style IPA. If it's a porter or a stout, that's kind of different. Or brown ale is a little bit different. Or a lager is different. So we try to judge it in that category. And so,
okay.
And the thing about a lot of beers is that your taste buds will be different. You might like it or not like this beer today, and you might try it a different time and go, gee, that's better than I remember, or what happened? It's just there's a lot of variables. So,
or you might have gone through COVID and not been able to taste it for a year.
Yeah, like you did,
which happened to me.
Shane,
yeah.
But that was a
Shane lost his taste.
Hard time.
It was hard
doing a beer
podcast. A beer guy with no taster
for a whole year.
Yeah. For a year,
it was like 4 or 5 days for me. It wasn't a whole year.
So
it was a year.
But anyway, what generally what we do on the show is when in our studio is in Glencoe, and we generally meet there. A lot of times we do on location stuff too, but we'll meet there and we'll set things up, and then we'll have our beer of choice that we're going to do. We try not to do too many brewcasts at once because, as we always say on Beer Guys TV, never drink and drive, and always use a DD.
That's correct.
We kind of keep it. We get time to cut the show off, and we'll record the next of them another day because Shane generally has to drive back here to Litchfield.
Oh, okay.
And
shoes on the other foot today, huh?
Right.
That's right.
Right. So, but anyway, always be responsible because as we were talking about off mic, is a lot of the craft beers, if you're not used to them, the ABV is alcohol by volume is a lot higher, and it'll sneak up on you real quick. Say, I usually drink 3-4 beers, and I'm okay. You won't do that with the craft beers and be in the same shape. So be careful. Enjoy in moderation. So anyway,
perfect.
This beer is from Half Bushel Brewing here right in Litchfield. It's a West Coast IPA, and that's just a style. West Coast is noted for being hop forward and a little bit edgier than some. And what else can you say?
Well, I reached out to Brennan today actually, and I told him what we're doing.
Oh,
and I said, I'd like to get some background on these two beers because I had Greg pick them up. And so the West Coast beer, he said it's all about the Chinook hops. And so he said they add them to the boil for 60, 30, 15, 5, and 0 minutes.
Oh, wow. 0 minutes.
Yeah.
Bang, they're in.
So, you throw them in, and then you take it off the boil. And then they dry hop late as well with Chinook, Cascade, and Centennial hops.
Okay.
Now, these hops were from Civil Sass Hop Yard in Chatfield near Rochester.
Okay,
so they're a Minnesota growing hop.
Oh, that's good.
Somebody else I know has a hop farm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wonder who that is.
We might get to that on the next beer, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. We probably won't. This is probably the only one we'll probably do.
No.
Well, for this podcast, I'm sure. I don't know. It's up to you guys.
We're good. We're good.
Because I don't have the beer. I have a different beer.
Curveballs are getting
You told me. All right. So
I know what I told you, but I realize now that what I told you was wrong.
Well, okay. Then what I did ask for. So the beer that he was going to bring, which he didn't, was the Centennial IPA from Half Bushel.
Oh yeah.
So and that one is made with hops from Lexi 13 Hop Yard in Watkins.
Yeah.
Just down the road.
Oh
yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
No.
I guess what Ian was alluding to, that a little further north from there is a farm of 1 acre of hops north of there.
Oh.
That maybe somebody sitting in this room has let go because it's a little too far from home now. So,
who could it be? It's not Shane. It's not me.
And it's not me.
Yeah, that's me.
Mike the Hop Man.
It was my passion to grow hops, and I did. Had some hops in the field, and the trellis is still there, and everything's all set up.
Bender done that, huh?
And my Centennial hops are still there.
Oh.
And I'm going, not this weekend, but next weekend, a little late. So all you hop gurus out there, I'm going a little late to to start stringing, but that's happening not this weekend, but next weekend. Should already be done. But hey,
there you go.
That's how it goes.
Oh,
now you know.
Now
we know.
Wow.
But I think that farm and setup might be coming for sale. So,
well, there you go.
if you know anybody?
Well, yeah.
We should go
for sure.
We should go have it. It could be the Beer Guys Hop Yard.
Well, or another beer guy of ours is Brenton Anderson, and he also homebrews.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he'll be kind of our homebrew expert in that respect.
Yeah.
So when we have questions about homebrewing, then we bring him in.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good taster too. He's
he's got a very distinct way of saying things.
Yeah. So he can pick up.
Sometimes I say that it tastes like soap, and then I have to explain what does that mean.
Yeah, it doesn't always mean a bad thing. It just has
Well, it's like saying I'm angry. Okay, why are you angry?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me more.
Right. So what we do is just give this a little taste as we.
Yeah, you usually want to get some off the schnoz there. You want to get a good sniff that kind of preludes your palate a little bit, and
you don't have to snorkel it.
Yeah. Don't. Hey, whatever works. Yeah.
So it smells pretty citrusy.
Yeah. Picking up some citrus off the hop. Yeah.
What is that? What is that smell that you smell? What are you smelling?
Yeah, that's the hop. You'll either generally get you'll get citrus or you'll get floral.
I get a combo on this one.
Yeah, the West Coast would probably be that with those,
Yep.
especially the hops that you mentioned there. But I think the citrus is probably dominant in there.
I would say so.
Yeah, for sure. And then you give it a taste.
It's a little bitey up front, especially if you're. It depends how your palate is for what you've eaten makes a difference, or if you've had something sweet prior, it'll seem a lot more edgier.
Contrasted even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you say it's a little bitey up front,
yeah,
you mean on the first part of the flavor?
Sure.
Or not on the front part of your tongue? Because when I taste it, it's real bitey on the back of my tongue.
Yeah, right. I just meant the first thing hits
the first sip.
Yeah, first thing you're like, oh, this isn't good, and then
Yeah.
as you finish swallowing it, it mellows out, and then you're like,
and you'll find, first you might go, because we've heard this countless times over the years. Oh, I don't like those IPAs. They're just so bitter. But you'll find I'll drink halfway through. They're going, hey, you know what? This is pretty good.
Yeah,
because you
it's
adapt.
got a flow. It's got a Janelli in there. You know.
Yeah.
Well, it's got a Janelli.
Yeah,
I like it. We might have to use that. I really got a Janelli with me here. What's he talking about? You have to ask Mike. But anyway,
my mouth is slippery.
It's got Yep, and that's the other thing. A lot of these beers can be kind of sticky, or they can be they just kind of slide right down the palate, or or they'll have a cloying effect, which on the tongue. It's
like a metallic flavor almost.
You can get that sometimes.
The coin is like if after you drink milk, that coating that your mouth.
Kind of
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll get that in sometimes on lactose stouts or whatever, the milk stouts.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Some we've made with lactose, and you can pick up on that. But you kind of that sweetens up the beer as well. That's what a lot of people like. I like porters and stouts, and Shane does too. And generally, a lot of times they can be kind of sweet because they've got like a lactose milk stout in it, and they've got other sugars and stuff. So a little bit sweeter. A lot of people see a dark beer like that. Oh man, I don't know how you drink those things. You could probably eat them with a fork. They're not usually quite that thick, but
right.
But again, it takes a little. You got to be open minded to it. A lot of people, once you try them and kind of adapt to them, like, oh crap, those are really tasty.
Yeah, I don't know how many times that I said, oh yeah, well I don't really care for this, but I'll power through, and then halfway through it, I'm like, man, this is really good.
Yeah,
I really enjoy this beer.
Yeah. Oh, and that's just it. You got to, I guess, comes down to being open-minded on all of it, not just like, oh, I only drink X light beer.
Well, I think part of that is if you drink a light beer, you can have a dozen.
Right. Yeah.
Or maybe that's their goal, is to have a dozen.
Sure.
You can't have a dozen of these. I mean, you could, but you're probably not getting up for work.
Right.
You're not. Your next day is not going to be good.
Probably not getting up out of that from the table.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So a little bit more stats on this beer. He said they use a 95% base malt, 4% caramel malt that adds a light caramel flavor, sweet toffee or caramel. Think of that.
Okay.
And then a 1% 120 malt that contributes to the dark color and adds flavors of raisin or prune.
Huh. Raisin or prune?
Yeah. Now, I don't get that out of it, but I'm also not thinking of that either.
Sure.
But not bet. Think about it and drink it because you can smell it when you.
Yeah, you know, it's one song, and sometimes somebody says that, and you go, I couldn't place that flavor, and sometimes that's what you get. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. You know, it's just like wine. People say, well, you know, I get essence of this, that, and the other thing. I was like,
tire.
Yeah, right. I've heard that. I get that kind of like burnt tire taste. What? How do you know that taste,
Right.
for starters? And but it's all kind of subjective, and and it's, I might find different things in this beer than Ian or Shane, and likewise. So, but it really boils down to, at the end of it, do you like it or not? You know what I mean?
Right.
And would you? We always say, like it or not, make sure you at least, unless it's terrible, because there are some that are.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at least give it a second shot.
It used to be like all the sour beers.
Yeah,
I could never do a sour beer.
You know, I never used to, but there's some that I kind of like now. But very so far few. But it's really a growing segment of the craft beer industry, the sours, and and I used to not.
Sometimes things grow in the wrong direction too. You know.
Yeah. But they've refined they've refined them quite a bit. I think the last couple of years.
One of the things with sours is that they are an old beer brew. I mean, they're from Germany. They brewed sours a lot, and what they would do is they would add raspberry syrup to them to sweeten them up.
Like a lambic.
They would exactly. They'd make a lambic out of it. So they'd brew it that way, or it'd come out that way because of the yeast strains and the hops and whatever they use. But they liked it sweeter as well. So they'd brew it that way, add syrup, and then there you go.
It sounds like it would be less sour.
It would be less. It is less sour.
It
takes that edge off.
I guess I could never get past the smell of it.
Right. It can be a little funky.
Smells
Well,
like
you're also like you're very against anything vinegar, right? And I think that kind of falls in
Yeah, for
a
sure.
similar vinegar.
For sure.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep. No, it's the craft beer industry seems to kind of go in ebbs and flows as well. West Coast IPAs were the hot thing. Now hazy IPAs are much bigger thing, and they're a little bit more mellow. I know a lot of people don't like these, but they like the hazies because
those hazies give you a hangover though.
Yeah, they can. They pretty much all can.
Right. Well, those hazies seem to slap you pretty good.
Yeah, so they go down a little bit easier, and I think
sure do.
And then sours, and then seltzers are now. A lot of breweries are doing seltzers. I don't really get into those personally, but
all right.
You didn't strike me as a White Claw kind of guy.
Nah. Thank you.
Thank you. I think he said.
Yeah, White Claw. I mean,
For those of you at home, Greg has a phenomenal mustache, and
for the viewers at home.
For the viewers at home.
Well, thank you, Ian. You got the whole package going there. You got the beard. You got the.
Don't get it going.
Give me the eyes, Greg.
Oh, stop it! Oh boy, what'd you get me into here, Shane?
Hey, we're just having beer and having
Surprise!
fun. So, like you said, the more you drink it, the more it. What'd you say? Magellan in your mouth?
Yeah.
Janelli.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It does. It's mellowed out, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I typically try it, and I am pretty sure I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
And then
imagine that.
Right. I've liked this.
Yeah.
And then with an IPA, I remember from drinking them, there's like a fine temperature. When they get a little bit warmer, it tastes really good.
You're right.
And then
there's a sweet spot there.
Fall right off that edge, and you're like, I can't drink this.
Yeah, when they're too warm.
Yeah.
So Brennan, I think, did a great job on this one. This is actually my favorite beer at Half Bushel. I like West Coast IPAs anyway.
It smells like an IPA I used to consume a lot.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I would love to try it. But
so this one here, it's
Old Dale's Pale Ale. Yeah. It's
okay.
got that smell.
Yep, sure. This one is a 6.6%, so that's up there. That's kind of right in the sweet spot for IPAs. Maybe a little high, but the IBUs is 85.
Oh, and if you don't know IBUs, International Bitterness Units. That's the bite. That's the higher the number, the more. And your palate really only can taste up to 100. You'll see some that are rated over 100, but you your taste buds really can't sense much more than 100
for the average person, right?
Yeah,
You're just like,
right.
I just taste that. It tastes bitter.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I tried one beer out in Vermont, and it was called the Vermonster, and it was 200 IBU.
It tastes like earwax.
I couldn't drink it. I was like, man, I want to, but I can't. And that was early on in the Beer Guys thing. My palate hadn't gotten there. I couldn't do it.
But can you say that if you would have it now, you would enjoy it?
I would certainly give it a better try. A fairer effort, but anyway.
It's one of those things where you do gravitate towards certain beers.
Yeah.
We kind of talk amongst ourselves about our desert or deserted island beer. You know, if you only had one beer you could drink for the rest of your life, you're deserted on an island, but you had a lifetime supply of beer, what beer would that be?
Montucky Cold Snack.
There you go.
You're what?
Montucky Cold Snack.
Oh, you're drinking my beer. I was an IPA guy through and through.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so like for me, currently it would be Surly Furious.
Okay.
It's just something I don't get sick of.
Dale's Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could drink 6-pack of those a night. Oh, man, I loved them.
You got a tattoo of them even.
No.
No. Where? Oh, no, I don't want to know.
Greg, which one's yours besides Bud Light?
Yeah. Yikes.
Hey.
Oh, boy.
How you doing, big boy?
Oh, stop it. Thanks, Shane.
You're waving that mustache at me.
Sierra Nevada's Pale Ale was
Okay.
one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's good.
You know, it kind of changes. Sometimes you stumble onto a beer and go, oh, man, I really like that. But then sometimes you kind of burn out on it a little bit. And then you got to give it a break and come back to it. Porters and stouts are some of my favorites too. So there's a bunch of those.
I think I would have to change mine. I was just trying to be funny. Have you had any beer from Weldworks?
Oh, that's a great brewery out of Greeley, Colorado, I believe.
I
Yes.
have not. Greg has.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In fact, last night I had a French toast stout from them.
They have got some of the most incredible recipes.
They do.
I think a couple years ago they decided they were going to make 100 different craft beers a year. So that was like every 3 days they were doing something different.
Oh man! Yeah.
And so my wife's cousin was helping with some of that. So we've had the opportunity to taste a lot of them. And my favorite one that I've ever had is called Juicy Bits.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you've had that. I think it's a pretty popular beer for them.
I've actually been to the brewery, and
Okay.
I think I had it. And of course, anytime you can have it on tap,
Oh, yeah.
it elevates the whole thing. Yeah. So and we were Carol, my significant other, the beer gal of the bunch.
Oh.
And that was her goal. She goes, "Can we stop by this brewery, this Weldworks?" So we went. We were going to Colorado Springs. We swung through there just to make her day, and I was like, I think I got the best end of that deal because it was like, man, I could stay here all day, but I'm driving to Colorado Springs, so I got to cut myself down just a little.
We better get going, honey.
Yeah. But
Or we're getting a hotel room.
right. But we didn't. I don't think I tried a bad beer there at all. Yeah, I was pretty impressed.
Yep, it's phenomenal.
That's awesome. Crawlers are awesome.
Crawlers.
Yeah, so since the invention of crawlers, so
yeah.
I normally, if my wife and I go to a brewery, I'm driving as well, and usually she can get the higher ABV beers, and I kind of gravitate towards the low ABV and have one, right? But then I'll buy crawlers I can take home and enjoy or share with Greg once in a while.
Once in a while. But,
Is that like the
can growler.
It's a larger can. They're usually about 20.
crawler.
okay?
A crawler is an aluminum can that's about 24 ounces, 28 ounces, somewhere in there. Depends on what state. I've been to California. They're 32 ounces out there. But it used to be at a brewery, you'd get a growler.
Yep.
Right, which is a half gallon.
Yep.
Or you'd get
Glass
a
jug.
howler, which is a quarter gallon. But a crawler the growlers and howlers are glass. I know.
I can't see how you're getting these confused.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a crawler is just aluminum. Basically, it's a can growler.
Much less breakable
Yeah.
option.
Exactly.
But not resealable,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So
Once you crack
you've
her open,
committed.
it's going down the hatch.
So
Yep.
if you don't like it, you got
Yeah.
26, 28, 47, whatever, how many ever ounces of beer that you
Yeah.
can't seal up and say,
I'll have that tomorrow.
I'll have that with the leftovers I'll never eat.
Some I've had some growlers that I've not I've taken them home and then opened them up, and after you open them first time, even if you have a couple glasses, a couple days later it's flat. Not good.
Yeah, you got about a 3-day window on a growler, I think.
I'll have to show you the tap I made for the growlers with a blood pressure cuff pumper and a little tap thing. I'll have to find that video.
That sounds phenomenal.
Oh man, yeah.
It's classic.
Wow, that Mike, he's creative.
There might have been some beer. There might have been some beer involved that day.
I can hardly believe it.
Do you have a? Let's just do a quick rating on this beer.
Okay.
Try it, buy it, or skip it.
You know, Shane, I on this one because it's full flavored, it's refreshing, and it's a buy it for me.
Nice. For me, it's the same. It's a buy it. I like the maltiness of it. The hop is nice. The bitterness is nice. I think it's a well done brew from Half Bushel, and it's a buy it for me.
All right, there you go.
I'm 3 for 3, golden ticket. 3 for 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't drink IPAs ever.
Yeah, the fact that you're drinking an IPA and he said he likes it, Brennan, hold on tight, bud. You're going to be making some more of that.
Well, and that's what Beer Guys TV is all about, is giving people kind of an idea of, okay, do you like these flavors? Do you like this kind of a bite or bitterness or whatever? And kind of trying to explain it in layman's terms. Mm-hmm. And somebody might go, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll try that. I like the beer that Greg likes a lot, so I'll give it a try. And so we're just all about trying new things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you don't, that's why. If you're gonna go out and buy some, you don't have to buy a case of whatever. You can buy depending on where you go or where you shop, but you can buy one, or you can get a 6-pack of something. You're not married to it. If you don't like it, share it with your when bad people come over. Hey, got a beer in the fridge? Yep. Yeah, here, have one.
Yeah.
Especially your brother.
Yeah.
Or the neighbor that comes over when you're doing yard work.
With the leaves.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for getting your leaves this year. Have one of these beers.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for bringing that in.
Oh yeah. Our pleasure, and glad we could do something with the local brewery. So
heck yeah.
And thanks for having us over.
Oh man, we're glad to have you.
It was fun. You guys do a fun job, and Shane, being the local Litchfield guy, said, "Hey, you got to check this thing out." It's because I said, "Okay, in Glencoe, it's so far away. I don't know, but so we'll definitely have to tune in."
So before you run out of here, you guys work in town in Litchfield?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, my regular job, I'm the marketing and communications manager at or specialist at Meeker Cooperative and Vibrant Broadband.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that place.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
There you go.
And
that's awesome.
And I have an e-commerce business. I sell stuff online.
Cool.
And I have a little shop out of Glencoe, and so we're not open to the public. We ship everything on Walmart, Amazon, eBay, Poshmark, that kind of thing. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you the one advertising me all that stuff on Facebook that says start your e-commerce business now?
No, but I think that's how I got hooked.
Okay.
Don't do it. It's a lot of work. I'm trying to figure out an exit strategy.
Oh boy!
But it's COVID was good for that business. So
I suppose
now it's tapered. It's went back to normal, and maybe a little bit the other way at the moment. But that's just the nature of the beast. But anyway, that's what I do. So.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, guys, we really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks so
much. I had
much.
a blast. This was great. It worked out perfect not having questions. This was
that's awesome.
This was much better. And as always, we'll see you next time. And what do you guys say?
Until next time,
beers to ya.
Hey, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Something different, and I think those guys actually, Ian anyway, enjoyed that beer. And
he did.
I didn't think he was gonna.
No, but I got a story about that.
Yeah.
So I went into Half Bushel Brewing in Litchfield, and I was waiting. I went to buy a couple of crowlers, right?
Sure.
So as they were getting filled, I thought, well, I'll have a glass of beer. So I'm sitting there having a glass of beer, and I'm talking with Jessica, the owners. Well, she's one of the owners, but
Sure.
it's the wife of Brennan. Anyway, in walks Ian. He goes up to the bar and, hey, how's it going? And we chit-chat a little bit. And I said, are you going to get one of those West Coast IPAs? He says, as a matter of fact, I am. We converted another person to an IPA drinker.
Our work is done here.
Our work is done.
You're next.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that was kind of fun because he really, when we pulled those out, he kind of had to look like, hey, yikes.
Yeah, he wasn't really too sure of himself.
No,
too sure of beer, but
yep. And that's what we always say. Try something different. If you don't like it, try it a second time, and then if you don't like it, move on.
That's right.
Because sometimes your palate's just off a little bit or something.
But
yeah, it's fun, and
it is fun.
You might surprise yourself with some fun gems out there that you didn't know you would like.
Yeah, and hey, surprise us.
There you go.
Send in some suggestions at BeerGuysTV@gmail.com.
Or like some have done, send us beer.
Very few have done that, but
it has happened.
We'll accept it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll do a fair and balanced BrewCast.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But and no matter what it is, if there's something you'd like to see us talk about on any of our BrewCasts or our rapid brew reviews or our brew talk with the beer guys, just give us a subject and we'll do our best to get it on. So,
yeah.
But anyway, that was fun. Again, thanks to Mike and Ian for having us on their podcast, and who knows what's next.
Yeah, well,
all right.
Until next time.
Beers
to you.
Clink. Okay.
We didn't plan this very
well.
Beer Guys TV reminds you to drink responsibly. Our reviews are honest opinions. Your opinion and taste may vary. We encourage you to try beers and products for yourself and form your own opinions. Remember to check out Beer Guys TV on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what beer you like and send us your suggestions for us to review. You can contact us at BeerGuysTV@gmail.com.